it still was probably like a serious choice to go for what they did, but I just don't know what they thought it was going to do in the later stages of the game. Because against that comp from QG, I mean, what? They just get locked down and destroyed. They're still so squishy, even if they do have so much scaling damage.
Yeah, it's questionable as to what they thought they were capable of doing later stages in that game against what is just a solid team fight comp. So
yeah,
no doubt split pushing or utilizing the scaling in 1v1 situations was going to be the answer, but didn't get to that stage.
No, weren't able to do so, but it is a fresh game, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what is going to happen here as Fizz is going to be taken away from Zatai first up, and Morgana going to be the answer here against Doinby. So Alistair going to be banned away this time around. TCT not wanting to first pick that and give it back to himself.
Yeah.
So interesting. Kalista going to be banned away from TNT as well. Loves his scaling 80 carries. And yes, you're right. My brain may have skipped a little bit of a beat there, but look, it's done worse in its time. That wasn't too bad. Final ban for QG is now incoming, and Azir is still standing out here. See whether they are wanting to ban that one away or whether Doinby wants to pick that one up, or whether it is going to be IG that take that one off the board. Rek'Sai there as well. There's a lot of junglers available. As we've seen Gragas be very impactful. We're looking at you, MLXG, as far as that's concerned. And Cassiopeia actually going to be taken away from Rookie, so interesting move here. I mean, they did deal with the Cassiopeia relatively well. I mean, Doinby had trouble in lane maybe, but he was only down by about 10 CS and still was able to get to that unstoppable Ariana stage.
Did cause a lot of trouble though, so taking away two of the champions that played against them in the last game, arguably the two champions that did the most work out of the fight.
Yeah, that was actually Kitties, wasn't it, on the Alistair?
Yeah.
So that's where my brain got disrupted. Of course, Nautilus there for TCT. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
So they've gotten rid of the Cassiopeia. The response is the LeBlanc. So the Azir is definitely available right now, and that will most likely be getting picked up in this game. We've got all of the junglers right now, the Gragas, the Rek'Sai. So whether Gragas is the priority, that's not for me to say just yet, because there is the option of the Azir. There's the option of the top laners if you want to Gnar first, Hecarim first. Essentially, everything is available besides Alistair.
Yeah, I mean, Zatai's champion pool is massive, so IG probably not too worried about that, but V is thinking about the Hecarim first pick, and what I want to see out of IG as far as their first two picks, this is what I want. I want Nunu Azir. I want them to lock in Nunu Azir, because Kakao's fantastic at Nunu, Rookie is an incredible landing Azir as well, and that gives them a whole lot of CC.
I would prefer this already, let's just...
Okay, that's a good point. If they're not going to go for the Heimerdinger, or the Gangplank, Nunu Azir.
Nunu Azir is amazing. Nunu Azir with any AD carry, you could have the Jinx again, would be amazing.
Yeah.
It works so well in synergy, and it is very strong. It's a comfortable, safe first pick. So I agree that would be an amazing first pick for them to do, but they've got the response here. They could pick a top laner away. They could even pick the Hecarim if they choose. They could pick the Rek'Sai.
They don't need to pick the Nunu this early. You're exactly right.
They could pick the Nunu to not reveal what their comp wants to do, or they could just go for the strong AD carry that seems to be the massive priority when Kalista's not available in the Sivir.
Yeah, and of course, that is just incredible wave clear already here for IG. Now they can just build as much disruption as they feel like. They have given away the Hecarim here for V in the top lane, and that is a massive jungle and top lane sort of displacement disruption combination. And we've seen that used to great effect already. We'll see what Doinby is going to pick up here as well. And look, he has the option of going back to his Orianna if he wants to. Doesn't have to just yet. And might hop onto his other utility option here in the Lulu.
Definitely.
Tons of knockups. Tons of CC already.
Yeah, it's a lot of manipulation of themselves and their enemies at the moment. They've got the Lulu who can knock up, the Gragas who can explode them in different directions, and then you've got the Shadows running at people, which fears them all away. So a lot of interesting dynamic between all of their crowd control and how it will actually work together.
Yeah, and IG, they might be able to go for some sort of like Gnar. Stands out to me as a fantastic pickup here for Zatai if he wants to. They can get sort of these alley-oops smash into walls with the Emperor's Divide plus Gnar ultimate.
He might just go back to the Ryze. He seems to be a Ryze main at the moment, or Rek'Sai even while we're discussing him. It's a possibility that that is still top.
Could be a possibility here. Of course, it does make a little bit more sense that Rookie is going to be picking that one up if it's going to be swapped over to Zatai. We'll see whether that's going to be the option. Kitties is going to have the Nautilus this time around. TCT going to have to rethink what he's going to take into the bottom lane. And look, they are going to be saving either the jungler or the top laner here. And I don't know what do you do on the side of IG, because Kakao is a fantastic Rek'Sai player. But Zatai's also played it. I don't know what you necessarily assume straight away. I assume we're supposed to say, yes, Rek'Sai's in the jungle, and then be surprised.
Well, I mean, what's fine here is that, especially on the side of QGs, you've already picked your top and jungle, so there's no counter-picking on assumptions.
Yep.
As for what we have to do when we're commentating what he's going to pick, we kind of just let it unfold.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. We'll see exactly what he does decide to do. Now TNT is going to be picking up the Lucian, so mid-game damage, but of course Lucian does fantastic things towards the later stages as well. You can get away from said boomerangs, and we've seen this matchup work out fantastically for Whoosh in our previous matchup against Name there. So we'll see how this does work out, whether we're going to have standard lanes. And now IG have to decide where they want to put the Rek'Sai and what they want to pick up now in the jungle or top lane.
Yeah, most likely going to be the Rek'Sai jungle, and it would be nice to see Zatai play a standard top laner in the Maokai or the Na this time.
I like
Up into the Hecarim, it's a very good matchup for you. You have the option of building a Phage first and potentially either choosing to stick with the Phage and go for damage in lane, or you can build tanky and utilize the teleports much more so. So a very well-rounded comp here from IG. I like it a lot more than their last game.
Oh, yeah.
It's not entirely waiting for that 45-minute power spike. They're waiting to get a single item perhaps. They've got wave clear. They've got scaling still. They've got damage, and they've got initiation this time. They've got more than one tank.
Yeah, well, having more than one tank is definitely going to be handy. So they've got 3 of those now. And they may have overinvested, but of course it is possibly going to work out. We've seen comps like this do amazing things thus far, and I'm excited to see what Zatai is going to be building here in the top lane as well as we go through the lineups and see whether he does go for the I'm going to keep down the Hecarim with everything that I have in the Black Cleaver and Frozen Mallet.
Yeah, it's a very exciting build if he opts to go for that. But now we're looking at Swift and Kakao with the Gragas and the Rek'Sai. Both very similar junglers with their gank timings and pathings.
Yeah, of course, both Korean as well, which is exciting.
Yeah, true.
So Rookie into Doinby is Doinby just going to try and weather the storm of this lane as Rookie's just going to be shoving in relentlessly. Of course, Lulu probably just going to handle that more than amply, as he just does have so much of an ability to do that with the shields, with the glitter lances there as well, so he can just clear out the minion waves and get stuff done. TCT and Kitties. Janna into Nautilus, it is going to be the case of disengage versus engage. And we'll see whether we are going to get standard lanes, of course, see whether Zatai can head back towards his I want to get as much farm as possible phase with massive amounts of 10 minutes. But ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it. Let's hop onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, QG taking on IG for our 4th match of the day. Almost got caught out saying it was our 3rd, but it is in fact our 4th as Doinby is hanging around here in the mid lane and a bit more of a defensive fan for both of these teams this time around. No funny business.
Yeah, no bush camping, only going to be the standard wards. I'm imagining they're going to place some deep vision or just neutral vision at around the 1 minute mark and go and do their thing, maybe as a group. The question will be, do they want to lane swap and deny this Zizutai's 1v1 prowess that he so avidly loves to do?
Oh, Kid almost manages to get the 3rd hit, but doesn't get it onto that ward. So does show that he's taken Ricochet, but that's, of course, what every Sivir does want to do in these 2v2 lanes in order to get the shove happening. Looks like Kitties as well has taken more of a defensive build here. A Mastery page, not opting to go for any extra gold, as you can see. 2.3k on the top side. As IG looking to take away some little sentinels here from the blue buff.
They have done the lane swap as well.
Yeah.
So QG going for it again, even though both lane matchups are fine. The Nara into the Hecarim it's survivable at the very least for the Hecarim, but they do again have the smite advantage, which may be a big factor into why they want to lane swap. And it does leave the Azir and the Lulu in a 1v1 for quite a long period of time. It extends the laning phase in mid, but it forces rotations a lot earlier where the Janna, I guess, is going to be able to roam. I don't know why. They just decided they want to pressure Zatai and stop him from farming and winning a 1v1. Yeah,
and they often think that as well, like Zatai, if he manages to get ahead early on, is able to create a lot of havoc there. As Rookie is trying to auto-attack Doinby as best he possibly can, but can't quite get there. Focusing these glitter lances on the wave is Doinby just trying to clear them out as quickly as possible. Kitties waiting on this bottom side just for anyone to turn up. Not actually picking up any experience at all, not really doing a whole lot at this stage of the game. TNT, TCT on the top side of the map as well, and TCT staying in range of this experience.
Yeah, it's going to be quite standard, but the damage that they're putting out in mid lane is going to be difficult. As the Lulu, and this is why I was touching on the fact that it's an extended laning phase in the mid, is once Azir starts to get some levels, he starts to be able to do a fair bit of damage, maybe even want to put 2 levels in the shield here as Lulu to survive through the Azir poke, because it starts to become a little bit overbearing, especially after that first buy for the Fiendish Codex for the most part of the time.
Yeah, and of course Rookie with that cleanse as well. Not going to get polymorphed for too long. Doinby is going to go for anything aggressive. Of course, Swift not going to be worried too much about a cleanse. It's just going to displace the Azir. We'll see whether he can utilize that one as this game progresses. TNT has shoved this one up very effectively. He's instead just making sure that the turret kills the entire wave. Kid doing a very similar thing.
Yeah, neither team's actually pushing down. They're not hard pushing. They're not grouping up even as 4 to get the turrets down with the big wave. They're instead denying it completely and not revealing where they are, which is very awkward because the top laner here, if you were Zitai, you actually could have gone top in a 1v1, but you're not aware of that fact. So instead you're going to come to the Dragon where you've got the numbers advantage, and it's an interesting rotation that they've done here. They should be able to get this for free as Swift is completely unaware and completely out of vision.
Yeah, Kakao is going to be able to lock that one down with a smite. A little bit early, but he's going to lock it. And it is, of course, Zitai that steals away the first dragon. So 4 minutes and 10 seconds was dragon number 1. We'll see whether IG can actually stay on top of it this time around. Of course, they did manage to get the first 3 very easily in the last game, and then things sort of went horribly badly. V now tanking up a little bit more damage than he otherwise would have liked. This Kid is once again going to freeze this wave out.
Very good position here as Kid and Lucian alike. TNT is in a great spot here where he's free farming, getting solo experience. So he's going to have a lot of levels and probably get 6th very soon. Once he gets that BF sword, potentially swap back into the Sivir matchup, where the experience advantage, as we're talking about experience, there is a level 1 Nautilus sitting in the bush, will most likely go to the bot lane of QG.
Oh my gosh.
He's level 1.
Poor little kitties. Yeah, he does, of course, have sort of 2 abilities worth of CC, which is kind of cool. Because, of course, staggering blows, his passive is still handy. And Zitai putting some pressure onto TCT here. But he's level 2. And Swift, he's coming around as well. See whether Zitai actually has his bounce just yet. I don't think he has. I believe it was Hyper that was leveled up next. It was.
So yeah, he's got
be careful.
QW. It's for the jungling, no doubt, but it does put him in a weird position, and he was being slightly aggressive, trying to put damage down onto the Janna and give himself some presence in the lane. But Lucian has it solidly frozen, in fact, and it's now pushing back towards him, I believe.
Yeah, and it looks like V just able to handle these lane swaps a little bit better than Zitai at this stage. Zitai, fantastic laning top laner, but he's now seeming like he's not exactly as comfortable as he otherwise was in his situation. Doinby taking another round of poke here from Rookie. He's picked up a Chalice as his first item. Fiendish Codex there from Doinby. Hasn't decided whether or not he's going for that Athene's Unholy Grail or whether it is going to be the Merlinomicon. Has either option there as the Forbidden Idol able to be built out of those Fairy Charms if he wants to. More damage. Nice use of the shield there from Doinby just to make sure he doesn't get poked out.
Yeah, Rookie looking to out-sustain Doinby in the mid at the moment. Has the Chalice opposed to the Fiendish Codex, and that's a sign. The Fiendish Codex is a sign of I want to kill my lane opponent. For the most part, anyway, he's got the Ignite advantage, but there is the Cleanse, and just the fact that the magic resistance and sustain that Rookie can put down in this mid lane is overbearing almost on what Lulu can do.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, of course, having extra AP is going to give Doinby actually some more defensive statistics as well, just because he does have that shield. Scales with the AP. And, of course, the cooldown reduction going to be allowing him to do that more often. Zitai about to get to Mega Gnar. Has managed to get to at least level 4 here as well, as the Raptor Sense is going to spot out some vision here for Kakao. And Swift and V continuing to farm out their jungle as fast as they possibly can. Red buff is being pinged out at least by QG. See whether they can get that one locked down for themselves. It is going to be spawning very, very soon. TNT here in the top lane. So pretty slow start to this game.
A really prolonged jungling phase here from the side of both top laners.
Yeah.
Zitai has been sitting with his jungler Kakao for a very, very extended long period of time. And V has a smite, so the longer that you do that, he's going to be able to even get jungling items like Skirmisher's Saber if you want to continue this for any longer, and he can continue to outperform in the jungle. So Hecarim had a period where he was trying to lane. I think they've completely disregarded top because Lucian has managed to keep this frozen. He has kept this frozen for the entire time.
Yeah.
Only now, it's starting to push back in. It'll hit the tower. You've got V here, so they might try and hard push this. This is the only move they've made on this turret at 8 minutes in this game. This has been a very slow start here from both teams.
Yeah, they are definitely hard shoving, but Dragon is going to be up in another 2 minutes. QG probably looking to be taking down this top lane outer turret, then switching their bottom lane down towards the bottom side and actually have some presence around that Dragon area. QG ahead by about 200 gold means absolutely nothing at this stage as Rookie's going to continue to farm out. Now, does have the CS advantage here, but a bit of a wave being shoved into Doinby. He's going to be able to pick them up. And IG, they're going to shove this one down as well.
Yeah, so they've got the 3 members here to what was the 4 in the top lane. But instead of pushing the turret down again, they've decided to just let all of the minions get denied. There is no response straight away from the side of IG to defend that top tower. So you may as well let all of them die, as many as possible, and then secure the turret, which is what we're seeing right there. And the same response almost from IG in the bot.
Yeah, Kitty's trying to get the last few hits down, but they're not going to be able to, as the turret a little bit too healthy, and Kitty's going to donate some of his health bar to that one. So yes, in favor of Kid. And Avarice Blade now picked up from TNT alongside that BF Sword. That is a huge first buy as Doinby. A lot of damage from Rookie.
The 10 CS is indicative of how much he has been struggling in the mid lane. It's not an exceptional amount, and he's still being able to sit in the lane, but the pressure, just that constant Sand Soldiers being attacked at him is so difficult for the Lulu to get through.
Yeah, and you can see he's trying his very best to farm out under this turret, but 10 CS behind this point in the game as Kakao is going to head back to base. Does have that Void Rush available. Cinderhulk is going to be completed by the Rek'Sai, and has already by Swift with the Chilling Smite as well. So he's going to have a little bit more CC available to him. Dragon going to be up in another 5 seconds as Kakao going to clear out some vision. And you can see the Dragon popping into the pit. See whether IG can lock that one down or whether or not they are going to be able to try and get anything else sorted here as Ward's going to be swept out. TCT going to be discovered here on the bottom side of the map. Eye of the Storm going to try and do some work for this turret, but TCT has to be careful. Because, of course, he's a bit in no man's land and that turret is most definitely falling down.
It's interesting the way that they've rotated from getting the top turret. Lucian went straight mid to cover Lulu while Lulu recalled. That sacrifices the bot turret, but they're also aware that the bot turret was going to go down regardless because it had no health. So maximum efficiency of last hitting from both members of QG whilst being able to get recalls involved allows the Hecarim now to go top lane and split push. The bot turret has now gone down, but that was already going to go down. And now they can either look to freeze the bot turret or fight for the bot turret in response and push themselves. It looks like they want to fight.
It does look like a Kid actually taking a lot of damage there from the Piercing Light. The combination there from TNT. 95 CS. Still in the lead is Kid. He's down on health. Nautilus is actually heading somewhere. Just wandering around. They're seeing whether or not they are going to be doing the Dragon here as IG want to get some position around it. Swift is getting a whole lot of shields. And they have started this one up. No vision available from IG, but they're now trying to collapse on it. Sand Soldier's now in the pit, but it's going down relatively quickly. QG are going to be able to get in there. There's the teleport from IG. They do lock down the Dragon. The Nara into the wall into TNT, though. He is going to get Wild Growth. The exhaust is there, but V comes in with the ult. Massive damage. Kakao trying to sort this one out, but the flash over the wall is going to mean that the Rek'Sai unable to do anything. Double kill now for the Sivir, though, as IG trying to kite around. Rookie picks up V. Doinby completely out of mana, forced to flash over the wall. So it's a 2-for-1, but the Dragon goes to QG.
So they get the Dragon, but they end up sacrificing some of their lives for it. They did make a trade, and look at the flashing health of the members of IG
right now. Oh, the culling!
He's got it!
Rookie gonna fall down. Bad positioning there by the Azir, but beautiful heads-up play from TNT.
And suddenly, it's a 2-for-2 with the Dragon for QG. So
yeah,
looking all right at the moment. The gold lead is still in favor of IG, but that fight was about time, to say the least. They've finally got themselves an objective, and they're starting to come through a little bit. They're getting their stride, but this IG comp looks so strong at the moment. It's going to be really hard for them to translate this. 2 kills going on to Kid on that Sivir. He's going to be huge.
Yeah, and of course, IG able to pick up 1, 1, and 2 on the Azir as well. Unfortunately falling down, but is almost finished with that Stinger. Has the Athene's Unholy Grail. I believe in the last fight it was a Chalice of Harmony, and that was what Rookie had to his name. Now with a bit more AP, a bit more cooldown reduction, able to offer maybe a bit more damage in this next fight. Kid 2-0-1 now on the Sivir as well. Does have the pickaxe and, of course, those Berserker's Greaves. So the pushing power of the Sivir definitely in full effect. TNT, though, no slouch himself, 1-0-1. Kakao looking to try and pick up a kill onto V here as Zatai is about to transform into that Mega Gnar. But he's a bit too fast. And ganking the Hecarim has always been a difficult thing. Yes. Sand Soldier's trying to do some work on Adoinbi, but he's going to be okay.
Yeah, just galloping away in the top lane and shielding yourself in the mid lane. It's very hard to push out the members of QG in the 1v1 pushes. And though they're controlling the map, they seem to be controlling the lanes, they're not able to actually get any kills or force objectives because the wave clear is just so good from the side of QG. And Invictus need to group up, get their rotations together, and I guess they're going to wait for that big item spike. We saw this last game once the Locket came out, and Kakao might want him again, but he's just too fast for you, mate.
Yeah, devastating charge, man. You got to wait for that one to be off cooldown. Because, yeah, it's going to get you out of trouble.
Yeah, so we're looking at the items right here on the side of Invictus Gaming, and they're the ones who really need to push this advantage. That just feels like their team is stronger at the moment. They're working on the Infinity Edge, and you look at Lucian, it seems like because he's got another...
Kakao's got a level advantage over the top laner, which is pretty cool. I guess the lane swap is going to help that one out, but Swift and Doinby getting over to this blue buff. Now going to be able to secure that one for themselves. Kakao with no cheeky steal. Doinby locks that one away. Kakao just going to take his Krogs in the top side of the map. IG now in the bottom lane as well, but IG with a 600 gold lead. Nothing really happening though. Not a whole lot of action. No one really making any decisive plays. No one clearly ahead, clearly behind. It's all about that strategic play, seeing who can get what advantage where. Zatai running out of rage bar just a little bit. Is it actually going to Na'Vi into the wall here as Swift?
Is here.
He's coming around, does have the ultimate available as well. It's a decent bounce, but it's going to get blocked out. Zatai is going to fall. And more over-aggressive plays from the top laner of IG is going to net QG another kill.
Swift stopping the bounce halfway.
Beautiful.
Securing the kill onto Zatai, and they managed to pick up a small advantage in their favor. The top lane is pushing, and
oh, depth charge here, but Doinby is going to... Oh, there's the ultimate back. Emperor's Divide. He's going to make sure that the wild growth is there. TCT is going to use the Monsoon, but he's taking a lot of damage from Rookie. The exhaust to come through Kakao.
Oh,
he's gone down so low. V just gallivants over the top of Rookie. And Kiddies gets explosive cast. Can't flash away fast enough. And the double kill for TNT. This QG lineup really orchestrating these fights well. And 1,000 gold now in the lead.
That was such a quick rotation from getting a kill in the top lane. You see Hecarim, even when exhausted, securing the kill in mid. That means he ran straight away. They didn't even look to push the top turret after the kill. They rotated, seeing that their mid laner was in trouble. And Doinby living for so very long on that Lulu, having the Janna to support, the Monsoon completely denying any kill chances. QG just smartly rotating, and you said it's all about the rotations just beforehand. This is what they're really good at. For a new side into the LPL, coming straight up, they're showing they've got what it takes right now, and they're commanding this almost.
Yeah, they're delivering. And Doinby as well now picks up a Magi's. Of course, Lulu, pretty difficult to kill, has displayed that thus far because he's been relatively immortal on the Rift. Kid able to farm out these minion waves very effectively. 5 CS in the lead, but nothing to write home about. He carries almost with...
Look at the Lulu's items.
Yeah, nah, the Magi's.
That's great.
Mentioned it before. We got it good. So we'll see whether he's actually going to be able to stack that one up. Rookie, I believe, stole away the Scuttle Crab. Cute stuff. Doinby might be in a little bit of trouble, but Sand Soldier's unable to quite get there. And look at the attack speed now on Rookie. Does have the Stinger. So that's 30% cooldown reduction from items now only. So really stacking that one up. Lots of attack speed for these Sandy Soldiers. Zatai looking to try and get something done. He's going for the team fight build, though. Not able to really get this one going. Oh, able to get away from the fear of V. V unable to close the distance any further, but Zatai does understand now that it's going to be difficult to stand around this lane.
Still ahead by a fair amount in CS, though, funnily enough, that he's managing to get pushed out of lane this consistently by the side of Hecarim. So doing well to maintain the last hitting that he has at the moment. And he's still quite high, and there was a lot of jungling that happened earlier. So given that, the fact that he's still at least on par with someone who has a smite, Zitai is doing very well. Their team comp is going to still be very good for him, even if he is behind. And they're going to most likely fight for this one. The teleports are available, but he's going to just walk here for him.
Yeah, Zitai making his way down. Doesn't have a whole lot of his Narbar available. We'll see whether IG are going to fight around that or whether they're just going to take the opportunistic fights that IG often like to do. Rookie going to start off this Dragon as Kid's going to get some auto attacks onto it as well. IG are going to be able to secure this one. So second Dragon going down for the Invictus Gaming lineup. Secured by Rookie there as Zitai. Actually, he's going to bounce his way out of this fight. Doesn't quite have his Meganar available just yet. Throws a boomerang back, but no one really hard committing to this fight. Meganar now available for Zitai as he goes back to base. But IG, free Dragon.
Yeah, the Xiaogo side looking to get a fight after the Dragon was already taken, just to give them enough pressure so they can't wave clear and stop this turret. So if they do get this turret, it was a smart play from them.
Oh, Zitai actually making his way in. He's used the teleport there. Almost has Meganar available. Doinby now going to move off to the side, but he might get caught out here. Really nice boomerang. Uses the wild growth. Now there's the flash into the Emperor's Divide. They lock down some of those Magi's stacks, and IG really trying to get their way into this game. The outer turret in the mid lane might be the next option here, and they've got some time with only 4 members of QG available.
That was really, really smart from IG. The fact that they knew they could fight. No ultimates used on their side besides the Sivir, I think, and the Nautilus, the disengage. So the important ult of the Emperor's Divide was there, and the damage is still so very there that they could afford to... They did lose the turret for it, but they won the fight, and they're looking to siege on their own right now.
Yeah, V and TNT trying to get some work done. They take the outer turret, unable to get the inner, but they'll still be happy with that one. Slight advantage here for IG, but it's very, very, very close for both lineups. And as far as like looking at the late game, Hecarim, fantastic scaling. Lucian scales very well into the late game as well, but you've got an Azir. And I just feel like at the moment, Azir is one of the most hard scaling champions in the game. You've got CC, you've got displacement, and you've got consistent damage from a safe distance. I mean, not much beats that.
No, very, very, very good late game champion is Azir. And one of those champions that can just 3-hit your priority targets. As the later this game goes, the more impact the Azir is going to have. So you're right, they do scale very well, and it is going to be very important to see how this Azir has an impact with the next item buys. And at the moment, has the needlessly large rod just come out, so that's a big deal in terms of Azir damage, and he's already been doing a lot of work. So we'll see the impact of how these Magi's can either get stacks, or the needlessly large rod can have an impact on this next fight. And basically this next fight I'm calling, just because there is the Magi's there, will most likely determine who is going to be very far ahead in this game.
Yeah, well, if Doinby manages to pick up like 2 kills or something like that, or they get a team fight that they can score an ace with, and Doinby doesn't die and picks up a whole bunch of assists, I mean, that's going to make the Magi's worth it. But at the moment, sitting on 3 stacks, if he dies again, I mean, that's really not doing much work for the QG lineup, and may have been an optimistic choice. It's a Black Cleaver on Kakao, though. He's doing his very best Zitai's top lane Rek'Sai impression at the moment, and this is very understandable from Kakao. He loves to build carry items from the jungle, does like to make a bit of disruption, do a whole lot of damage from there, and is going to be able to lock down the enemy Raptor camp. But I also just love these 2 items in conjunction with one another. Of course, you get extra health from the Black Cleaver with the Cinderhulk. You're doing AoE damage around yourself. The fact that as a Rek'Sai, she's just fantastic at having the Q for lots of AoE in a small area. Sort of very similar to a Cinderhulk. But then you're also just ripping through the armor. And then you've got Zitai doing some work, Kid doing work as well with the physical damage. And you can really get into these targets and strip them of all their defenses.
Yeah, and it's a big item for him to have right now. And the fact that Zitai is going straight tank, not going for what we've seen him do, which is the Black Cleaver Frozen Mallet build to split push. He's looking to team fight more than he is to win lane. So you can afford to go for some more. It is still tanky stats, but it's not directly tanky like armor or magic resistance would be here. So he's going for the health tank as Kakao, and then you've got the full focus tank of Zitai who's going to be able to frontline for you in team fight. So a very smart decision to go for some damage. Just another threat on the side of IG, like they don't have enough already.
Yeah, and it's utility damage as well. I like that coming from Kakao, is the fact that you're doing some work so that Kid can do some extra damage. TNT actually going to use the Relentless Pursuit here. Kid, Spell Shield is down. And Kid is just going to tank up that Culling QG, trying to put pressure on this bottom outer turret here as well. Cacao doesn't have Void Rush at the moment, but he is right here, so he doesn't necessarily need it. QG are going to be able to push down this outer turret in the bottom lane, though, and TNT continuing to shove. So we'll see whether IG are going to be able to respond. TCT just cutting off some tunnels. And Zatai going to be split pushing in the top lane. Doesn't have teleport just yet. Nice little spell shield there from Kid just to make sure that that barrel doesn't do too much work. And he's going to be able to protect this inner turret. Lots of vision, though, for QG. Look at all of these wards on the bottom side of the map, and they're preparing for this dragon in 50 seconds.
Yeah, it feels like most of the fighting is going to be taking place around the dragon. Unless something is free, such as that bottom tower that they just got, they're not looking to fight until they really spike in items. This is the same thing as last game. They're looking for that big item spike stage where they feel like they can team fight a lot better. Now they've got the locket onto Gragas again.
Yeah.
So this is a big sign that they are ready and able to fight. They've got 2 core items here on the Lucian, almost at that last Whisper. Lulu's the big question in terms of damage, but there's not as much armor stacking this game as what we might normally see. So the fact that the Lulu isn't the entirety of their damage, because the physical damage will still be doing work.
Yeah.
This next team fight, I'd say that QG are close to their optimal levels of strength as long as the Mejais can actually get some stacks.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to get any of those without fighting as well. Cacao's sitting on 3,000 health. I mean, this guy's definitely got some of that in his back pocket. TNT may need to think about Blade of the Ruined King, something like that, to try and maximize that. TCT is going to take an auto attack there. The Moby Boot's not going to be working as hard now as TNT is going to start off the dragon. Rift Scuttler, though, is in clear ownership of IG, so IG can see that this dragon's going down. We'll see whether they are able to get here in time. It's down to about 1,400 health. There it is, smited away from Swift. Toynbee, though, going to get caught out there by the depth charge. Wild Growth on himself, doesn't get any knockups from it, though, and the culling not doing very much work. Rookie going to flash out of the way, not going to die, though. Swift takes down Kitties, and Cacao trying to get some work done. Kid caught right in the middle of the fight, way out of position now as Zatai trying to get in onto TNT, but the shield's too strong, and QG's team fighting is too good, and they nail the dragon and pick up 3 kills for it, and IG... that was just some very weird teamfight positioning.
Their ability to fight as a team as QG, though, is phenomenal. It was really weird how Kid actually walked in and basically face-tanked the entire team, but TNT also got some god crits off, about 4 in a row, and just decimated him. So they were stuck in the Dragon Pit, and they were trying their best to get in, but the Hecarim teleport directly behind them forced them into this awkward position where the Emperor's Divide had to be used. So we'll see this again, and the depth charge is what initiates it all, catching Doinby out of position, but he manages to live and ult himself back. You see Hecarim gets into the back line, forces the Emperor's Divide and the flash from Rookie, and now Rookie is out of the fight. Kid needs to be where he is, but look at those crits. Destroys him, and Zatai gets the ultimate off, but he gets it off a little bit too late, and then the shields come out. And TNT had a massive impact in that fight, and it was just too hard for Kid to actually get in there and do the same.
Yeah, just weren't really getting all that much done. Zatai now going to find the horse in the top lane, but he's going to be okay. And Zatai just doesn't really have the lane presence here either. He's going for that Spectre's Cowl next item. Might be going into what looks like a Thornmail next as well with this cloth armor here in his back pocket. And Rookie, I mean, he cannot be underestimated, but they need to fight where Rookie can get the consistent damage off. And he just wasn't able to in that last fight. Had to flash away, got the ult off, which stopped a fair bit of what QG wanted to do, but they didn't get the pick they were looking for, unable to really find what was going on in that fight. 2,000 gold in the lead is QG, so nothing to write home about, but that last team fight definitely going to be working out in their favor, and 6 stacks now for Doinby.
Starting to get some stacks back, has managed to redeem himself from buying it in the first place and losing those stacks straight away, so it's starting to ramp up now, and it is a support Lulu, so in a way I don't blame the Lulu for getting Mejais being 0, 1, and 6.
Yeah, true.
You've got 502 Lucian, who is apparently RNG critting like an absolute beast. So I can definitely see the reliance on this Lulu to do this Lucian to do damage, and you're building your whole team almost around the Hecarim. The Hecarim Lulu is an amazing combo too. I can't write that one off. I need to talk about that, but the Lucian is just doing so much work, and you've got this team, the Janna and the Lulu combo, to protect whoever you choose And then you've got the Locket as well. It's so hard to kill particular members of QG at once, and their team fighting is really, really strong.
It really is. But Rookie just picked up a Rabbiden's Death Cap from a needlessly large rod. So that's a lot of extra damage
That'll
here
help
for IG. That will most definitely help, Rusty. You are entirely correct. There's 271 CS as well, highest in the game here. Rookie really needs to put his team on his back if they want to get anything done. But like you were saying, I mean, there is also a Rabbiden's Death Cap here for Doinby as well. He's got some money and able to really add the utility to his team. We've seen Lulu's be so effective, Xiaohu as well previously, just showing that she is still such a strong pick in the mid lane just for all the extra utility and the damage that people just don't expect coming from a Lulu.
Yeah, pretty much. Lulu's one of those weird champions that you think about as a support style carry, but the damage is surprising, especially once you get that death cap spike. And you have to say, Rookie is going to be very, very scary at the moment. He's got that big item in the death cap now. The Stinger's going to help with the attack speed, and he's got all of the CDR he could ever need. So we'll see if he can really impact this next fight, if Rookie can put his team straight on top of his back with Kid. Zitai needs to hit the big ult, though, for it to really be enabled perfectly.
Yeah, Zitai needs to get the NAS happening. TNT, sorry. He's going to find Zitai in the top lane, but he's got plenty of backup there.
Has his last Whisper 2 now, TNT.
Yeah, actually, even items for both of our AD carries. Sitting on an Elixir of Wrath is TNT as well, so can make up for that lack of lifesteal. Both of these AD carries are suffering at the moment. But Alacrity enchantment here for Doinby as well under those Lucidity boots, making sure he's as quick as possible.
I guess you won't be speeding yourself up because you'd be looking to do that on the Hecarim or the Lucian. So,
of course, it works multiplicatively as well because Alacrity is flat movement speed as opposed to Whimsy's percent movement speed, so you just get a little bit more as well, so that's good.
That's true.
So even if you're using it on yourself, you're going to be doing some work. Swift locks down the Raptor camp. And IG wondering whether or not they want to fight. Talongale is going to raise Nautilus into the sky. And we'll just see exactly where the action is going to come from, whether it's going to be QG pulling the trigger or whether IG is going to finally work out when they want to fight, create the advantage that they're looking for. Zitai is in Mega Gnar form right now. If QG were going to pull the trigger now would be a very good time because Zitai won't be able to be that Mega Gnar form for another few seconds. Kitties with some vision over the side, but Baron hasn't been started just yet.
I think they'll look to the Dragon for the next fight, and they should have the Mega Gnar available for that. They've got the item timings, they've got the spikes, and it is up in 15 seconds. So Nar's going to scale up that bar in the top lane. He does have the teleport, and with the Dragon up in 10, will QG look to contest this? They're all coming from the base now, but IG have the control.
Yeah, and Zitai now with the Thorn Mail as well in his back pocket. You get a lot of extra health from the Mega Gnar. It's fantastic to have this added armor just because TNT is doing a large amount of the damage. Swift is going to face check here as well. They're trying to get the damage off, but Swift is so tanky. Kitties gets exploded. The teleport in from V is Zitai. He's managed to get in there. There's the Gnar into 4 members as well. Is he able to actually turn this fight around though, as V is going to try and turn it onto Rookie? The fear goes off. He tries to get the Sand Soldier over the wall, but he doesn't make it there. Triple kill in the meantime for TNT, as you mentioned. Is he going to be able to catch up to Rookie? Not sure. Swift locks down Cacao. V is going to kill Rookie. It's a clean ace for QG, and IG just cannot win a team fight this game.
QG's team fighting just seems to be at the highest level right now. They're so coordinated. Swift getting caught, the instant reaction is, we can actually fight this. I didn't really get caught, so
well, you're also the tank. So he doesn't get caught. He just says, thanks for the free initiation.
Well, I mean, that is very true. They did initiate for him, so just turned around, used the explosive cast, instantly destroyed Kitties. He's out of the equation now, and they didn't even have to touch Azir and Kid. They were just out of the fight. Zizitai's teleport was a little bit adventurous.
Adventurous, I like it.
Put him in the back line, and he did hit the Gnar, but he had to flash for that Gnar. They stand in a very, very bad position. So the rest of the side of QG managing to just follow up on that fight, rampage their way all over the face of IG.
Yeah, and they picked up not only the turret, the inner turret in the bottom lane, making it 4 turrets to 2. They pick up a Dragon and a Baron on the side of QG. Some extra movement speed, some extra pushing power as well in that Baron. And Cacao is going to get locked down that Raptor camp. Not going to let Kid grab that one, but it is going to be the Trinity Force completed by V. Randuin's almost done for Cacao, but it's a bit of a selfish Rek'Sai build here doesn't have the locket, doesn't have any ability to sort of help the team out with this build. Wants to be, I guess, shredding armor, but that's about it. And now V is just going to be able to eliminate Kid, eliminate Rookie. Unless that Emperor's Divide is in exactly the right spot. And IG, they got their work cut out for them in this later stage of the game.
Yeah, it's going to start getting harder and harder, and they have the team comp to do it, though. IG's team comp is phenomenal. They've got that Azir-Sivir combo. Both do ridiculous amounts of damage, and then they've got the Nautilus and Gnar to enable this to happen. So if they find the right fight, if IG can initiate on their terms, then it could still definitely go well for them. But TNT is just overbearing. He's so strong right now.
Yeah, 4-item strong Lucian. Swift is going to find Zatai, who's about to get into Mega Gnar form, but even that Static Shiv just doing some work for TNT. V split pushing now as well. Baron minions heading towards the base of IG. And they're circling the drain.
They didn't even have every member there in that mid. And TNT is just casually tanking turrets to do damage to it. As they might go for this bottom turret, but outright.
Barrel going to land onto Kid as well. The inhibitor turret is going to fall down here. TNT now getting to work onto this inhibitor. Rookie's going to get ulted back, and he's going to die immediately. QG starting off the fight for real now as well. Kid gets a bit of mana back from that spell shield, but everyone's dying. Kiddies falls down low as well. They're diving the turrets. TNT tanking that one up as the body slam from Swift. The huge fat man with the wild growth on him as TNT. They've decided to give up on trying to take down any other parts of the base. It's the Nexus turrets, the Nexus that's going to be falling down, and QG 2-0 over IG. And IG were looking like a team that's unstoppable. They got stopped right there.
They got stopped in their tracks. The drafting phase looked perfect. The early game was just so standard, and out of nowhere, this team fighting capabilities of the Xiaogo side is unbelievable. They just roll over this IG that were undefeated up until this game.
Yeah, and I'm just speechless, honestly, because this team coming in from the LSPL, I mean, yes, they were the first seed, but man, they are just making me so impressed.
They're making
I'm
easy
speechless.
work of
and
top
that's
sides
not normally
right now.
a thing that I do. Yeah.
Now, you're very rarely speechless, I will pay that.
So QG, really, really impressive performance in this game. And IG, a team that was looking like they had everything together, looking like some shades of the old IG that was happening. Zatai, overly aggressive, not necessarily playing like he is the lane-swapped top laner. And this might be something that IG have discovered, is the fact that their lane swap play not exactly working out for them. So we'll see whether they can turn that one around as we head towards the later games of this split. Of course, head towards the later games, we still have to head towards the earlier games. 44 games split, ladies and gentlemen. Only 6 of them have been played by both of these sides, so very much early days.
Definitely early days, but from what we have seen so far in these early days, has been an impressive showing from this new LSPL side. QG look amazing, and IG look very strong in their own rights, but having dethroned almost by this new side is crazy.
Yeah, doing very, very well. So QG, we'll have to keep our eye on them as they head through the LPL. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go towards our 3rd series of the night. Of course, LGD going to be taking on Unlimited Potential right